In this video, you will learn how to perform two types of serve. We're going to look at how to do an underhand serve and an overhand serve. First, the underhand serve. Position yourself anywhere behind the baseline. During service, you are never allowed to place your feet inside the court or on the baseline. Point your shoulders towards the net, bend your knees slightly, and bring your weak foot forward. This will be your left foot if you are right-handed. Hold the ball in the hand that's on the same side as your weak foot. Hold the ball in front of you, in line with your other arm, at a height between your hips and waist. Your arm should be slightly bent. Make a pendulum-like movement with your free arm and hit the ball from underneath. You can choose to hit the ball with either an open hand for greater precision or a closed hand for greater power. When you hit the ball, shift your body weight from your back foot to your front foot. Don't try to hit the ball hard. The power of your serve comes from the ample movement and speed of your arm. Next up, the overhand serve. For this serve, extend the arm holding the ball and toss it into the air. The ball should be tossed just above your head, slightly in front of you and in line with your other arm. With your other arm, hit the center of the ball with a flat hand, sending it upwards and forwards. Keep your arm straight. When you hit the ball, shift your body weight from your back foot to your front foot. The underhand serve is the easiest to perform, but also the easiest for your opponent to receive. With both serves, coordination and controlling your movements are essential to striking the ball at the right moment. So time to get training. In this video, you will learn about two types of overhand jumping serve. We're going to look at how to perform a jump serve and a float serve. First up is the jump serve. Position yourself 2 to 3 meters behind the baseline and look at the area you want to aim the ball at. Toss the ball high into the air in front of you with your hitting hand. Move towards the ball, following its movement with your eyes, and accelerate on the last 2 steps before the jump. Be careful not to step on the baseline or inside the court, as this is considered a foul. Jump upwards and forwards, arching your body and pointing your free arm towards the ball to keep your balance while in the air. Prepare your hitting arm by bringing your elbow back, raised above your shoulder. Swing your hitting arm upward and forwards and hit the ball with your hand held flat and your arm outstretched. Keep your wrist supple. Bend it at the moment of contact to increase the rotation and speed of the ball. Aim for the top of the net and follow through with your serving movement, staying in contact with the ball for as long as possible. Next up, the float serve. Position yourself 1 to 3 meters behind the baseline. Toss the ball and jump, just like in the previous example. Hit the center of the ball swiftly with your hand held flat. Keep your hitting arm outstretched and your wrist straight. Stop your arm as soon as you make contact with the ball, and don't allow it to drop down towards your hips. Hold your jump and don't follow the ball forward to obtain a floating knuckleball effect. You can use this serve to surprise your opponent, as the ball's trajectory is often unpredictable. Jumping serves are difficult to master, so don't get discouraged and get practicing. Over to you.
Line up both of your feet about shoulder distance apart, with your dominant foot ahead of your non-dominant foot. Your shoulders and hips should be aligned with the net. Put your arms straight in front of you. Hold the bottom of the ball with the palm of your hand and touch the top of the ball with the palm of your other hand. Cock your serving arm back next to your head, as your elbow should be pointed upwards, and then toss the ball up with the palm of your hand, not your fingers, about 2 to 3 feet in the air. Simultaneously step forward and hit the bottom of the ball with the palm of your hand. Your hand should be stiff and open and your wrist straight. Make sure your serving hand is aiming in a slanted up position. This way the ball will go higher and make it over the net. Make sure you are hitting the ball at its highest point when you throw it in the air. After making contact with the ball, drop your wrist forward. This will produce topspin on the ball.
In this video, you'll learn how to do a bump pass. This will allow you to receive the serve or recover the ball after an attack. To perform a bump pass correctly, remember these 3 steps: position, prepare, and return the ball. Firstly, position. Move by sidestepping or cross-stepping to your position in the path of the ball. Spread your feet apart slightly wider than your hips and bend your knees slightly inwards. Keep your back rounded and lean forward a little. Secondly, prepare. Clasp your hands in front of you and tilt them to form a flat surface for receiving the ball. Always leave space between your arms and your chest so that you can gain leverage and control the power of your forearm pass. If your arms are glued to your chest, you will not be able to produce enough power. To link your arms together, clasp your hands by putting one palm over the other and folding your fingers. Thirdly, return the ball. Turn your pelvis and the flat surface of your arms to where you want to pass the ball. Hit the ball in front of you, between your knees, with the lower third of your forearms. As you hit the ball, push with your legs too. To make a good bump pass, stay still as you receive the ball. Over to you. In this video, you'll learn how to make an overhand pass. It allows you to set the ball at the net so that your attacking teammate can spike it effectively. To set a good overhand pass, bear these 3 points in mind. Position yourself, ready yourself, and hit the ball. Firstly, position yourself. When the ball arrives, observe its trajectory closely and sprint to where it will land to catch it before it touches the floor. Position yourself below the ball's path so that it lands directly in front of you. Before you make contact, turn your feet, hips, and shoulders in the direction you want the ball to travel. Secondly, ready yourself. Bring your foot closest to the net forward slightly. Bend your knees a little, keeping your back straight. Bend your elbows to 90 degrees and raise them to just above shoulder level. Position your hands in front of your forehead. Hold your hands open, around 15 centimeters apart, fingers relaxed and slightly bent. Your wrists should be bent. Turn your palms to face forwards until the tips of your 2 thumbs are facing each other. Form a triangle with your thumbs and forefingers, through which you should be able to see the ball. Thirdly, hitting the ball. Just before receiving the ball, bend your knees and lean forward slightly. When the ball arrives just above your eyes, push off with your legs to stand up as tall as possible. Use your index and middle fingers and the upper part of your thumbs. Careful, don't use the very tips of your fingers, nor the palms of your hands. At the moment you touch the ball, rotate your wrists and palms inside to outside. Then push strongly with your fingers and straighten your arms up in front of you. Once you have learnt this technique, practice it with some drills. Over to you.
Hi guys, it's Coach Danielle. In the game of volleyball, the goal is to receive a serve with a bump pass or a forearm pass. The individual who receives the ball passes to the setter. The setter then sets the ball with her hands up to the hitter, who then hits the ball over the net. The ball must be sent back over the net to the opposing team within 3 people touching the ball. Typically, we use the bump pass for a ball that is below your head, so from the waist down. You can set the ball or overhand pass the ball if it's above your head. Let's get started. Start with holding the ball at your waist. Keep the form with the bent elbows and knees with the right foot slightly forward. Fingers should be loose and in the shape of the ball. Receive the ball with your hands over your head and push the ball with the flats of your fingers extended with the legs at the same time. Again, hands should be in the shape of the ball, right above your forehead. The ball should only touch your fingers and never the palms of your hands. You can only use this method of passing when the ball is above your head. If you try to use this technique when the ball is below your head, the referee will call a lift and the ball will be awarded to the opposing team. A lift would be holding the ball too long before releasing it. The correct form would be taking it above your head and releasing quickly. Let's practice setting the ball to yourself 5 times. Be sure to use proper form. Remember, look at the ball more with your eyes without bending your neck too much, as well as the hands should release evenly. This is an example of a double touch. Notice one hand touches and releases before the other.
In this video, you're going to learn how to attack or spike in order to score a point. To attack well, there are 3 essential steps: jumping, hitting, and landing. Firstly, jumping properly. Head to where you are going to hit the ball. If you're right-handed, finish your run-up with the following 3 steps: left, right, left. Jump forwards, pushing with your left foot to gain speed. Then throw both arms behind you. Land on the heel of your right foot. Bend your legs to push upwards and bring your left foot and your arms forwards. When your left foot touches the ground, push hard off the ground and throw your arms upwards to lift yourself up. Jump up and arch your body slightly, arms bent backwards. Secondly, hitting well. At the peak of your jump, direct your weaker arm towards the ball to help you balance. Position your strong arm behind you, bent, with the elbow above the shoulder. Hit the ball when it is as high up in its trajectory as possible. It should also be slightly in front of you. Your hand should be flat and should strike the ball in its middle. To hit hard, keep your arm straight and bring your right shoulder forwards at the moment of contact. To gain power, strike the ball with a rotating and forward movement, snapping your wrist at the moment of contact. Thirdly, landing. Control your landing to avoid any contact with the net or going into the opponent's court, which would count as a foul. Land on the front of your feet, then bring down your heels and bend your knees slightly. To carry out a good attack, pay attention to your jump, your strike, and your landing. Over to you. In this video, you'll learn how to block. Blocking is not counted as a touch of the ball. Follow these 3 steps in order to block effectively. Prepare, jump, and block. Firstly, prepare. Stand about 30 centimeters from the net. Move towards your opponent by sidestepping or by running along the net. Keep your feet parallel to your shoulders and your legs very slightly bent in order to be ready to jump. Reach your arms up and bend them with your forearms parallel to the net and with your hands at head height. Secondly, jump. Always begin your jump just after your opponent jumps. Simultaneously push with your legs and raise your arms. Jump vertically, keeping your head high and your eyes on the ball. Once in the air, stretch your arms with your hands open and your fingers spread to have maximum surface area for the block. Thirdly, block. Adapt your block depending on the 2 following situations. If you are late or your opponent is bigger than you, block defensively. For this, bring your hands back towards your head, bending your wrists. Try to slow the ball during contact in order to retrieve it afterwards. If the ball is very close to the net or the opponent is smaller than you, block offensively. For this, bend your body forwards so that your arms and hands can enter into the opponent's court. Don't forget to control your fall in order to avoid any contact with the net or entering into the opponent's court, as this would be counted as a foul. Land on your front foot, then uncurl your toes and gently bend your knees. Blocking is the best way to destabilize an attack, so adapt your block according to the match situation. Over to you.
Our 4th type of dig is considered an emergency dig. It's called a collapse dig. It's when the ball is hit so far away from you and so fast that you actually have to go to the floor. You launch your body forward and throw your hands under in order to get the ball up. The 5th type of dig is another emergency dig. It's called an extension dig. This is when the ball is so far away and so hard to dig that you can't even get 2 arms on it. Reaching with 1 arm, you sprawl out and do everything you can to retrieve that ball. My name's Kaylee Neal. Thank you for watching this episode of Aggie Academy, where we taught you the 5 types of digging. We hope to see you this fall at one of our volleyball games.